Okay guys, today is September 12th and we're just going to do a full garden update. So the roses look great, which I'm fully enjoying them hanging on here. Got some new buds and everything. Marigolds in the pot are not doing so great. They do much better in ground soil. Snapdragons hanging on there. I've got to take this one squash inside. These kind of were all duds at that point. They never really grew to full size. That's okay. We'll see what they look like on the inside. Maybe I can give them to the chickens. Sugar snap peas doing awesome. They look great. They're nice and vibrant and thick. There's a bunch of them in here. I'm thinking of doing a second round of the sugar snap peas. I did clear out the melon bed, so I'm considering doing it in there. Carrots are not doing so great. Really struggled with these. I don't know if it was too much moisture, not enough moisture, soil not good, really not sure what happened, but we'll see if any of them grow. There's a little bit of greenery in there. Strawberries hanging on, still producing some. I don't really eat these, so if the birds come and get them, I'm not really that upset, but there are a lot of them in here. I'm hoping that as the years go by, the strawberries will get better. This is the best they've looked yet. I think that we're on the third year of these strawberry plants. This is one of the squash plants. Things aren't doing so great. I just clipped those off. They didn't make it. Raspberries are looking great. They are so sweet and delicious. Let's see what's in the back here. I've just got stuff all over the place here. There's not really any blackberries. Those were the ones that were trying to take over the entire yard. So they are super long tendrils here. And one of them, I think, tried to root down actually. Blueberries are done for the season. More squash and zucchini plants, not doing so hot. The potatoes, though, these look great. I am hoping that they will actually produce and I'll get some potatoes. I'll be very excited for that. We planted the two different types. This one's not doing as well in this pot. Not sure what the difference is, but it's okay. This is all an experiment this year for me. Peppers are hanging on and doing great. We have a bunch of habaneros still coming in, which is awesome. I think we have some jalapenos in one of the beds that's coming in. There's more scotch bonnets there, habaneros here, and here are the jalapenos that are coming in, and some more over here. We have a bunch of bell peppers also. Here's some more cayenne peppers that are gonna pop up. But here's a nice big red bell pepper, and there's a bunch of little ones growing in here as well, which is awesome. We'll see what comes out. The winter squash bed is actually doing really well. Got a whole second round of squash that decided to come in, and they are looking great. And then my massive blob of one over here. And the oregano is doing good in there. And the rosemary over here. There's not really any winter squash on that side of the bed, but that's okay. This was the melon bed. I ripped everything out, removed everything, fed the chickens, the big watermelon. It wasn't really good for eating, so the chickens enjoyed it. I might plant the sugar snap peas here in this bed. We'll see. We have the squash over here that have produced some, not a lot. I do have to spray down all of these leaves and get rid of all of this molding that is happening. So that might be today or this weekend's adventure, I did pull out 2 of the plants. They were fully dead, but they do look good. They're getting new growth on them. There's flowers and little buds. See how things look. This marigold is just taking over, which I love because I feed the chickens the marigolds and they love it too. Surprisingly, my tomato plants are doing great. They look terrible, like all this dead stuff in here, but they're actually doing pretty good and they're giving me tomatoes. So these are all the little candy tomatoes up there and down here. And I mean, we're picking them off, not a lot at a time. Again, things did not go as planned this year, especially with my tomato plants. I really struggled, but there's a bunch of new growth. Things are looking really awesome on this one. All of this in the front here, this is all new growth. So I'm hoping that maybe it'll keep producing, as most of my tomato plants still are. So there's tomatoes up there, some in there, over here, and down here. So we'll see what we get. Those were the indeterminate candy Isis tomato plants, I believe. The ones that I really struggled with that just keep on growing. And I was not prepared for how large they actually get and how long, the vines become. So trellising in the future is definitely something I have to plan very well for if I'm going to have the indeterminate tomato plants. Because this year I definitely wasn't prepared for what happened. So again, there's some new growth on here. This is coming out. There's tomatoes. I think this might be this is the heirloom plant. And then here's some more peppers. This is that OG Gatherers one. We're still getting them sporadically, but I think those are kind of at the end of their cycle for the plants that I had. Actually, no, we do have some, flowers down here and some buds. So hopefully we'll just keep getting a few more as, the weeks go on. These look terrible, but they actually are giving me all new tomatoes. So I couldn't be happier. And I'm trying to leave them alone and not pick at them as much. But again, this is all new growth here. And we have new tomatoes on every single one. I actually just picked a couple off when I got home from work today. This one is doing great. Can't wait to see what I end up with. There's some here, there, a bunch down there. This one's in the pot. It's not doing as great, but that's okay. You live and you learn, and that's what this is all about. Let's see what's on the other side over here. So we do have some. They have some bottom end rot, blossom end rot, whatever you want to call it. But have the tomatoes down here, some up here. This is another one of those candy tomato plants. It hasn't honestly grown too large, which is really good. I can clip it if I want to, but it does end there. This is in a pot as well, but it's actually doing pretty good. I have a marigold growing in it as well, which is great. Loving all the flowers. Definitely have big plans for next year. My sunflowers are at the end of their life cycle here. Ooh, look at that cluster. Which is fine. The sunflowers were awesome to have. They were beautiful. They attracted all the bees and honestly some birds too. Really cute ones. I wish I could have gotten some pictures of, but they're now starting to die off. As you can see, I've had to take some branches down, but things are still thriving in the garden, and I couldn't be more, excited, and I couldn't be happier with what I've done this year. but we'll see how things go and see what we get. All right, we'll come back in a few weeks and see what happens. Well, I guess the chickens approve, so it's perfectly fine for them.